Okay, folks, today we're having a look at Masters of the Universe Origins Mer-Man figure, the Ocean Warlord, on the old packaging known as the Evil Ocean Warlord from the 80s. And Mer-Man comes in the third wave. I'll get a closer look at the packaging. There's Mer-Man. Closer look at Mer-Man inside the packaging. Ocean Warlord. See the words at the bottom. See left side view of Mer-Man in the packaging. And you see his weapon behind him, his sword. And right side view, Mer-Man in the packaging. And the back of the packaging. You see him swimming underwater. You get a closer look at the back of the packaging later in the video. Alright, you see the other figures and the features. Now let's have a look at Mer-Man, the Ocean Warlord, outside of the packaging. Okay folks, here's Mer-Man out of the packaging and out of water. Here he is on land now. And this figure is based on, of course, the 1980s version of Mer-Man. You have a closer look. I remember in the past, this little belt piece used to plug into his armor in the past. On the past 80s figure, this piece right here. But now it's totally part of the armor. You can't take it off anymore and spin it around in a circle like you did in the older days. It's attached to his armor now. It's a part of his armor. It's sculpted onto there. If you look closely, it looked like Mer-Man is wearing gloves, or designed for the gloves. Remember in the Filmation cartoon, he had yellow gloves on, his boots were yellow. But however, when you look closely, it looks like Mer-Man is wearing boots. First, it might have looked like he was barefoot again from far away, but once you get up close, it seems you see the line right there, so I assume he's wearing green boots compared to the yellow he wore in the Filmation cartoon. The armor is soft and rubbery, and it seemed like the bands are up kind of high this time. Instead of being down here, they're like right there, up high. And of course, the toy was known for his sword, which many fans on He-Man.org and elsewhere gave it a hilarious nickname, called it the corn on a cob sword, because that's what the sword looks like. It's like a corn on a cob with the pellets on there and things of that nature. And as for Mer-Man's articulation, the head can go down up and down, look up by that much, turn side to side. Arm goes outward, you can twist it around. You gotta pivot at the elbow. These joints are tight on these Masters of the Universe Origins figures, by the way. And a swivel at the elbow and swivel at the wrist. And of course the waist twists around. Legs go out that much. You can bend his knee back that much. Got a swivel at the upper ankle portion right there. And his lower ankle goes back that much. So Mer-Man, the Ocean Warlord. And he, along with Beastman, Skeletor and Beastman were among the first villains released in the Masters of the Universe toy line back in the 80s. And I've always loved to impersonate Mer-Man. As a kid, I used to like to try to sound like him. By talking like this, next time, Skeletor will get you, He-Man. I don't know how that was, but there's my Mer-Man impression. I hope you like that. I just did that for fun and entertainment. Now, let's move on to the slideshow of Mer-Man. Okay, folks, it's Mer-Man in the packaging. One thing I can say about Masters of the Universe Origins is that the origin figures are not appearing in the same order as they did in the vintage line. They're vintage style packaging, but they're not appearing in the same order as Mer-Man is appearing late in the line. As compared to the 1980s, he was one of the first figures introduced, and Roboto was making an early appearance back in the 1980s. He was a later figure, so Mattel's not following the sequential order that they had in which the figures were released back then. And you see Mer-Man out of the packaging, clamshell that all the figures come in, and you see his sword behind him inside of the clear plastic. An up close shot of Mer-Man's face, up close view of him. Looks just like the 80s version. There he is, profile with his sword in his hand. And left side view of Mer-Man. I'm sure whenever they release Stinkor, I'm sure this mold will be used again, as they are in tribute to the 80s figures. So I'm sure the Mer-Man mold probably will be used again once they make Stinkor. Whenever Stinkor appears in his line. As you see, Mer-Man is a little over 5 inches tall, almost right at 6 inches tall. Here he is next to the earlier villains, Skeletor, Beastman, Evil-Lyn. There's a close-up of his sword. You see the those things called. I keep forgetting what they're called. Those round things on a sword. And there's the Dimensional Doom comic that comes with this wave of figures. This wave 3. Mer-Man, He-Man, Skeletor makes an appearance. Sea Creature, Roboto, She-Ra, Zodak all make an appearance in this issue. You preview the issue here. And there are the figures. All wave 3 figures except for He-Man and Skeletor came in the first wave. The rest are wave 3 for 2021. There's a scan image of the card back. As Mer-Man looks on, he sees Skeletor underwater. And Skeletor battling He-Man with Spydor. And the fish behind him, that octopus looks like he came from a mini comic, by the way. That's about it for this video, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a blessed day, and we'll see you in the next video.